Rise and shine on Australia's Vision Christian Radio.
It's a Tuesday podcast. Rise and Shiners here joining us. And I must do a quick apology at the beginning of this one. Yesterday, the podcast intro was just myself. Joe Chapman, who joined me yesterday, had already, jumped off the microphone and raced out on the day. And I thought, I should have Joe on the podcast intro. And I'm not going to make the same mistakes twice. I've got the lovely Kate Ryan with me on the podcast intro. Kate, so good to have you here.
Yay! So glad to be here.
Now, we've just finished, for people behind the scenes, we've finished the entire show, from Woe to Go Together. Can I say, is this the first time you've been a co-host over an entire breakfast show?
It is absolutely the first time.
I feel honoured.
So do I. I feel absolutely honoured. It's been talked about for a while, back when Brekky was Brekky and Robbo were a team together. Brekky kept saying, come up, Kate, we'll run a show together.
Yeah.
And so it was always, just a joke.
Yes.
So this was just amazing. And to hang with you, DJ, the whole time's amazing.
Oh, you're so sweet. I think that could be one of our catchphrases here, making the joke into a reality, bringing Kate on for the whole show. Now, for people who's always thought behind the scenes, gee, I wonder what it would be like to do a breakfast show with DJ. As the co-host there, give us your honest feedback here. How did we go?
I am blown away by what goes on behind the scenes. You are phenomenal. I'm thinking, gee, I'm glad I'm on this end of the microphone, not in your studio.
We do have some spinning plates in the air as we're running along. I do have to confess that, especially because you're going to hear on this episode of the podcast, we bring back, after many months away, the Laundry Gang is back. And Kate, you're an honorary member from the get-go of the Laundry Gang.
Absolutely.
So we had to bring it back. And I tell you what, the phones, every time we bring up the Laundry Gang, phones light up around Australia. Everybody, there is so many of the Vision family who love their laundry as much as you and I do. So it was great to hear from people. In fact, we're going to slip in at least one or two bonus calls today in the podcast that we couldn't fit onto the show because of timing restraints. So we're going to have a bonus call, at least one, maybe two, of some laundry people ringing up and giving us their laundry hacks. Absolutely love it. Well, speaking of all things laundry, I've got to let you go because you and Brett are taking delivery of something very exciting.
We are indeed. A new dryer with a heat pump that self-cleans. Now, all those words together are just a bit exciting.
Yeah.
The only trouble is that when you start adding a whole lot of electronics, I feel like there's more things that can go wrong.
100%.
So I guess we'll see, but everybody raves about them. So, I'm prepared to give it a go, and maybe the next time there's a Laundry Gang discussion, I'll be able to give you a rundown.
Oh, review time, a review time. Okay.
Review time.
Well, on behalf of all the rest of Australia who's hearing about your new dryer, I join with them and say, must be nice taking taking delivery of this luxury item there. No, I'm very, very jealous. And I've got to say, we didn't get into this. We don't have a dryer anymore. Since moving back to Queensland, I've gone, you know what? We'll see how long we can last without a dryer. Some of the rainy seasons, it gets a little bit hard. There's some string going up in the garage. But but so far, so good. If you can get away, I've got friends and family, and our very dear Fel, who's usually on the show, Fel, everything that comes out of the laundry just goes, the washing machine goes straight into the dryer no matter what the weather is out there. I've got friends and family who do the same thing. Does my head in, because I think hanging up on the line and going out and doing that, it gives you a better result for the clothes. It's better for your clothes, but it's such a beautiful practice of just getting out there and enjoying the sunshine and pegging things up together.
And look, it is lovely. I do find, though, I'm just going to say this.
Here we go.
The difference between towels on the line and towels in the dryer.
Oh.
The towels on the line are crispy.
Yes.
But my mum has always said, crispy towels get your circulation going, Kate.
Oh. And so me and your mum are cut from the same jib. You have brought up, this is going to be another talk topic that we do on the show, crispy or soft towels. Which one? I'm crispy all the way. I want a towel so crispy, I don't even have to put it on my skin. I just hold it near me and the water just jumps straight from my body into the towel. It's so rough and hard.
Yeah, well, you don't need a buff puff.
Yeah, exactly.
You cut out the middleman.
I want sandpaper paper quality towels. When everybody else in the family is complaining about the towels, I'm like, I'm doing my job properly. That's great. That's great. I love it. Hey, Kate, you've been so much fun. Thank you so much. Give our love to Brett for us, or as you'll hear in the show, Kendrick. He's coming up a little bit later on. But bless you heaps, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Across Australia, this is Rise and Shine with Fel and DJ on Vision.
And I've got someone on the phone who's I'm hoping going to be feeling on the up and up. Is this the one and only Mr. Matt Prater?
G'day, mate. How are you?
Good. Now, the last I heard, I came back from a weekend away down south, and I came back and everyone's telling me that you're in the hospital. What is going on?
Yeah, well, I've had malaria.
What?
And it's probably been the worst week of my entire life.
Oh, buddy. Now, I know that you recently were in the continent of Africa, travelling around doing Matt Prater-ly type things over there for the Lord.
Yep.
Is this obviously where you picked it up?
Yeah, so they say I would have got bitten by a mosquito at some stage while I was over there.
Yeah.
And it takes a couple of weeks for symptoms to be displayed.
Oh.
So about a week ago, I started getting headaches and fevers and just aching. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. So I went to the doc and he gave me some anti-inflammatories, sent me for a blood test. Said, oh, I'll come back in a week. I'm like, oh, thanks, mate. Okay. And then Friday last week, I honestly thought I was going to die. I had chest pains, everything,
Oh.
you know. And the ambulance came, rushed me into the RBH hospital, and they asked me a million questions. And as soon as I said I'd been to Africa, they went, right, do these tests. And,
Yep.
you know, blood tests, X-rays, CT scans, you name it. And then, like, seriously, the last few days have been terrible. And, I mean, the staff here are amazing, so I thank God for that. But turns out, mate, listen to this. The way they check your parasite count,
Yes.
you know, the malaria count, mine was up to 29% of my bloodstream had parasites in it.
Oh, my good. That does not sound good.
Now, in medical terms, 21% is considered severe.
Oh, and you're 29.
They said they've never seen anyone that high.
Oh, my goodness.
At the RBH.
Now,
So,
please give us some good news. How are you doing now?
well, when they told me that a couple of days ago, I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't realise how close I was to, you know, could have been really seeing Jesus this week.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it then went to 15 and then to 5% the last 2 days.
Oh, praise God.
And so they're sending me home today.
Oh, fantastic.
So, yeah, I mean, last night I had an okay sleep, but I still have just night sweats all night, which is just so terrible.
Oh,
So I've just got to take the tablets for a few more days, and they reckon it'll be out of my system completely. And the only thing is, in about 4 or 5 weeks, there could be possibly anemia or something. So
yes.
I need to just be monitored and come back for checkups. But
serious stuff.
Mate,
Serious
full
stuff.
on,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so is there a moral of the story for us to take away?
Well, yeah, definitely take anti-malaria tablets if you're going to any country that has malaria.
Wow.
True story. I actually rang the travel doctor like 10 days before my trip, and this girl at the reception goes, "Oh, you're too late. You've got to take them 2 weeks before you go, so don't even bother coming in." And I told the doctor here, and they said that girl is crazy. She should have said, "Come in straight away, and we'll give you some," because it's better to take them than you know, just because you were 2 days late from the cutoff, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm just so grateful that the staff have looked after me, and it's been a good time in the Lord, you know. I mean, there's no TV here in this room.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of time listening to worship music. I've been listening to you guys a bit.
Yeah.
And just in the Word, and just I've had some lovely visitors, and I've been able to witness to heaps of the staff.
Of course you have. Of course you have, man. Hey, listen, buddy, all of us, our prayers are with you to get you well and get you back home. I'm so happy that you're coming home today. But look after yourself, mate. Don't do anything too crazy just yet, all right? We need you around for a while longer.
Absolutely, mate. I'm working on it, and you'll enjoy this, mate. I've been cracking a few jokes to the nurses. And a nurse said to me, "I was hoping to find at least one patient that was funny today. I'll let you know if I find them."
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well, I'm glad you've got your sense of humour still, buddy. Hey, Matt, thank you so much for letting us give you a call this early in the morning in the hospital. Big love to Carol and the rest of the family, and look after yourself. Stay rested, my friend.
Thank you, mate. Hey, what could possibly go wrong? Huh?
Oh, don't even bring that up. Oh, dear. All right, you got DJ and Matt here. Rise and shine.
Across Australia, this is Rise and Shine with Fel and DJ on Vision.
Joining me in the studio, so I'm not all here by myself, it's the lovely Tony Davenport, the wonderful Tony Davenport from the newsroom, here bright and early this morning. How are you, sir?
Very good, thanks, DJ.
It's we could turn it into the Tony and DJ show this morning, the breakfast show, and we just do all news stories this morning. I don't know if management would be happy about that, but you do have something that you've we talked about your magic red folder last week, the red manila folder with all the news stories in it. What's coming out of it today?
Something quite positive.
Okay.
Because there's been a lot of legislative changes, a lot of stories about laws that could make things tough for Christians, silence them and so on.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get into them because they're a bit heavy, and we've heard a lot of them about them before, and they haven't been processed completely yet.
Yeah.
But there's this drive across the nation to silence Australians.
Yes.
But today I'm going to look at a positive story.
Love it. I love
and
it.
it comes from Washington, D.C., one of the richest counties in America.
Wow.
It's I think it was a little suburb called Vienna.
Uh-huh.
And an amazing story happened at a high school there. These kids who are only about 14 or 15, all of them boys, have bought their custodian. Now, that's a euphemism for janitor.
Yeah, janitor. Yeah. Basically, the guy's doing the cleaning up.
And he is an immigrant from Ghana who's only been at the school for a few years, but he seems to project a very Christian light to these boys.
Fantastic.
Now, I haven't seen anyone say in as many words that he's a Christian.
Okay.
But all the evidence points to this man called Francis Apraku. He is a Christian.
Wow.
And these boys were so in awe of him that they bought him a $30,000 Jeep Wrangler.
Oh, my goodness.
That was for his birthday, because Francis... The boys say that Francis, ever since they met him, he's been super kind and friendly and even said prayers for us.
Wow.
He's more than just a custodian. He's a dear friend to all of us. He's just very kind, genuine person. He is always encouraging us and is such a great person. If there's anyone who deserves this, it's him. And they said he's consistently being cheerful and motivating them.
Wow.
And this is just a young well, not that young, but a middle-aged African man who's come in out of a different continent to teach these kids in a very rich country.
Yeah.
Or very rich county, I should say. And they're all white kids, which is quite interesting. I'll give you the backstory about that in a minute. But they got together, these young boys, and they talked to a lot of the business community and residents, and they raised this $30,000.
Phenomenal.
And when they presented Francis with this car, he rolled onto the ground.
Yeah.
And he started crying tears of joy. They had to pick him up.
Wow.
And he went over and hugged the back tyre. He was so overjoyed. And he said, with tears in his eyes, I give thanks to Almighty God for making today a great day for me.
Wow.
As for the boys, may God richly bless them and make all their dreams come true in their life. And also to the parents involved, may God bless them.
Wow, what a rich guy. Talk about a blessed man and someone who's reaping what he's sowing. How did what's the backstory of the boys there? How did
it's not so much the backstory, it's the backstory of Virginia, the state, because it's actually in Washington metropolitan area, but it's part of Virginia.
Yeah.
But Virginia was a Confederate state.
Wow.
And just 60 years ago, it was segregated.
Wow.
The blacks and the whites, they were separated.
Yeah.
They weren't even allowed to intermarry between the races at that time. And I'm just reading a book about the life at that time, and it was very, very racist.
And just 60 years later.
60 years later, and the civil rights movement was just getting going going 60 years ago. But this is just so uplifting.
It is.
That, and there definitely was a God factor there.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a Christian high school necessarily.
Wow.
But these boys they had prayers from their custodian.
Yeah.
And they loved it. And it's just a God story, because I reckon the light really shone out of Francis, who was just a humble janitor, and the boys were drawn to him.
I love this story, Tony, and you can read about it over at vision.org.au. I love this because it flies in the face of a lot of the bad news that we get out of America, that everything is racist, everything is horrible, everything is bad. No, it doesn't. That's not the way that it is. God's doing some beautiful stuff there.
Rise and shine.
Rise and shine.
You've got DJ here on Rise and Shine. Joining me in the studio still is our newsman extraordinaire, Tony Davenport. Now, Tony, you just brought us that great story that we're all looking up over at vision.org.au. Have you got something else before the news headlines hits us?
I do. And this is about a bit of an eccentric character called Shelby Summerlin.
Oh, what a great name.
Yes, it is a great name. And he is a former pastor. He's 95 years old.
Wow.
But he loves to read the Bible.
Okay.
He reads it every morning for 2 to 3 hours.
Wow.
And he's been doing that for 63 years. Wow. He has read the Bible cover to cover 1,025 times at least.
Wow.
It may have been longer. He just keeps going and reading it.
Yeah.
And he says it's like a new book every time you read it. And I use much of my time for looking for Bible sermon topics, topics to read about. And he said you overlook these things unless you're really, really looking for them. I call it looking for a nugget every day, and I've been able to find one. Every day.
Well, how old is he again?
95.
Is he still preaching as well?
He is like a guest speaker.
Wow.
Yeah, he's officially retired, but he lives in the state of Georgia in the US, and he travels to nearby churches.
Like any good preacher, they never really retire. They just become itinerant preachers there.
Exactly.
Wow.
And he's also has another couple of eccentric hobbies.
Yeah.
He's probably collected more hammers than anyone else in the world.
Wow.
He has a collection of 3,000 hammers.
Wow.
And just to top that off, he also has an amazing collection of pocket knives.
I thought you were going to say nails, but anyway. Pocket knives and hammers. All right, so I'm imagining this old Southern American guy over there with a Bible in one hand, pocket knife in the other one, and a hammer, so you don't come anywhere near Shelby over there.
Not unless you really want to hear the Bible.
Great. Again, can we read this over at vision.org.au?
You can. It's up there now.
All right. Fantastic. Hey, Tony, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Great conversations, fun, inspiration and more. Rise and shine on Vision.
It's all happening in the studio this morning. It's DJ and the lovely Kate Ryan from Focus on the Family. Kate, we celebrated Marriage Week last week, and part of that was, celebrating and giving away a special couples pass to a retreat that you're running. Tell us a little bit about the retreat.
Oh, the retreat is actually a highlight of Focus on the Family's year. It's when couples come, whether they are just refreshing, recharging, or they're in a bit of a crisis situation. Yeah. It is just perfect to get away, really invest in time together.
And tickets are still on sale. It's happening in October?
October the 18th to the 20th.
Yes.
In Ringwood in Melbourne.
Okay. Now, we were giving away a double pass. Let me tell you that over 250 couples entered the competition.
Oh, wow.
We have drawn the prize, and this is hilarious. The winner on the line this morning, the winner of the, I think the ultimate value was it, did I get it right? It's around about $900?
$995, actually.
$995 double pass is going to a little fella we like to call Pinky. Good morning, Pinky. Congratulations.
Oh, wow, that's a surprise.
It looks like Pinky and the Brains are heading to Ringwood, Victoria in October for this incredible marriage retreat. Well done, mate.
Oh, couldn't have come at a better time, eh? It doesn't hurt to put a bit of a refresher into your marriage at any time.
Well, you can now call the Brains your lovely wife and let her know, hun, get those tickets booked for Victoria because we're going down there for the weekend.
That'll make her so happy, it will, because her son lives down there.
Oh, beautiful. There we go. It makes it even better. All right. Well, Kate, lucky you get to hang out with Pinky and the Brains come October and, get to, have some special time with them. Pinky, congratulations. We'll get all those details out to you via email, but well done. And thanks so much for entering.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm truly blessed. I really am. And I appreciate it to Kate and it. So thank you very much.
Well done. Well done.
Look so forward to seeing you there.
Well done. Well, listen, we're heading up to the word for today. We're going to listen to a bit of Seth Schlieder, and then we've got the lovely AJ Spur on the line. Congratulations, Pinky, and you can get tickets as well. Just head over to Focus on the Family. That's families.org.au.
Rise and Shine.
I'm counting my blessings this morning. Number one, I've got the lovely Kate Ryan on the line. And number two, we've got a very special guest coming over the Zoom. Kate, would you like to do the honours?
I would. Welcome, AJ Spurs. I got to say, I am so looking forward to hearing what you've got to say. I've been stalking you, a bit of a stalkerazzi, because we speak about, similar things. I'm passionate about parenting, and I've looked back and, all the things you've been speaking about on parenting and being a mum of boys.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was just listening to that actually about your two boys and sport, and grass in the boot. And I was sport, because I've got three sons. And you've never smelt anything until you smelt a lacrosse glove.
Well, Kate and AJ sort of, connecting there over sports and having boys who love their sports. AJ, what have you got for us this morning?
Today, what I'm chatting about is something that I learnt from listening to Focus on the Family 20 years ago, just before I got married. And it's advice that I was thinking a friend of mine is getting married soon, and lots of people get married in September. So I know I'm a bit late for marriage week, but I wanted to share the best marriage advice that I received as a newlywed.
Oh, I like this. Some marriage advice. We were talking about it last week during marriage week. I had my nephew getting married, my young nephew getting married. I've got my oldest son at the ripe old age of 20 is going to be getting married later on in the year. So I've been walking around like this wise sage trying to give out marriage advice. Sadly, most of my nephews and nieces just laugh at me and tell me to keep on moving. But AJ, we're very, very keen to hear what you've got to tell us. Let's listen to Levi McGrath, Ray of Light, great Australian singer-songwriter.
That's Levi McGrath with Ray of Light. It's DJ and Kate on Rise and Shine, and we've got the lovely AJ Spur about to give us some inspirational marriage advice.
Oh, yeah, Kate, you're going to do me out of a job if you get any better than that. AJ, you mentioned, last week was marriage week, but you've got some great marriage advice up your sleeve. Let us have it.
Yeah, this is advice that I received. Somebody gave me this book when I was getting married, and I read something in here that completely changed the way that I saw my husband and my whole marriage. And so I want to ask you a question, DJ. Would you rather feel loved or respected?
Oh, you know what? I reckon it flips and flops between the two, but if I have to look at our marriage as a whole, 23 years with the wonderful Benita, I feel most secure in our marriage when when she puts me first, or, gives me that level of respect amongst the family, especially in front of our children. She levels up like that. That's where, I'd have to go that way. But I do want some love as well. I need some love.
You know what? You are actually a rarity, and you're the first person that's answered it like that. I was really shocked when I read this book. It's Shanti Feldman, For Women Only, What You Need to Know About the Inner Lives of Men. Yeah. And she actually had interviewed a whole stack of men and asked them this question: would you rather feel loved or respected? And do you know what the vast majority said?
No.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Love and respect are the same thing.
Wow, there we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What you've just summed up is what I was trying to express there. Yeah, I want the respect, but I also want the love, and it's
Yeah, absolutely. And so if your husband doesn't feel respected, he doesn't feel loved. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And somebody more recently put it like this: inside every man is a warrior and a clown. And the one that you speak to is the one that will respond. And I think that really changes the way that you even speak to your husband, just being aware of you bringing out that warrior in him and speaking to him as the warrior that he is. He's the leader of your home. He's the high priest of your home, and he is worthy of that respect. And when you speak to him in that way and treat him that way, his love tank is just full and overflowing.
How, AJ, have you experienced that in your marriage? Like, has there been times where you've gone, oh no, I've summoned up the clown in the way that I'm talking to my husband, that's why he's acting? Has there been times where you've sort of failed in that way?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had to do a self-check. And I think once you realise that, it can absolutely transform your marriage. Just be aware of how you're speaking to him, how you're treating to him, how you're responding, and it can completely transform the way that he responds to you as well.
Wow. Okay, so a bit of warrior talk. Get that warrior out of there this morning and get it up and going. Now, if people want to contact you and get some more information, the best place to do that is over at your website, where they can find out about your books, they can find out about your speaking and everything like that. That is, see if I've got it right, there's no even, you don't even need any W's or anything like that. It's seeinggod.au.
Yeah.
See, that's,
can't get easier than that.
I get confused without the .com there. I'm turning into a boomer here. Seeinggod.au. You put that in there, you're going to find everything about AJ Spur and any information there. And people can contact you through the website if they have any questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm feeling a bit more like a warrior this morning. Watch out, Kate. I'm feeling pretty strong, and we're gonna get into it. AJ, always a pleasure to talk to you. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.
It's the best way to start your day. Rise and shine. On Vision.
Coming in from beautiful downtown Melbourne in our Vision studios down there is the lovely Kate Ryan. Usually we're talking to Kate with her wonderful husband Brett as part of Focus on the Family. Kate, you've been willing to jump in while Fel's away and be my co-host of Rise and Shine. So I thought, while we've got you on here, just us talking, just us having some fun, why don't we get to know the KR a bit better?
Sure. How far back do you want me to go?
Well, where did? Let's go all the way back to how did you? When you were younger, did you ever think you would end up in this ministry position? Was this something in your mind that one day I'm going to have this husband and we're going to talk to people and couples and families or anything like that? How did God get you into that place? What were the steps that brought you there?
Wow. No, the answer is no. I did not think that was going to go anyway. First of all, back when I was in university, I always wanted to be a teacher, always. But back when I was in university, I actually made a statement to some friends. I'm never going to marry anyone in ministry.
Wow.
And I learned very quickly, never say never to God.
Yeah.
Because when I married Brett, he was a nurse.
Okay.
And so I was a teacher and he was a nurse.
Safe. There's no ministry there. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I do find that both of those are actually serving kind of careers. Both of us are in the people business always.
Totally.
But, partway through, probably about 14 years into his nursing, God tapped him on the shoulder to go and be a kids pastor. And 12 years after that, God tapped him again and said, focus on the family. So the actual story behind that was when we were dating, we went to this relationship enrichment weekend, just to see if we were on the same page, journeying into the future together before we got engaged. And while we were there, we actually had a prophetic word over us that we would be in family and marriage ministry.
And how did that go with your stance of no ministry?
Well, it was interesting because both of us, we stopped and talked about, was that actually on our heart? Because sometimes let's face it, that kind of a prophetic word is a long-range plan. It's not like we get married and then all of a sudden we're talking on marriage and parenting when we don't have children or anything like that. And so we just talked about it and we said, I asked Brett, was that on his heart? And we discussed that and we both had that strongly on our heart.
Wow.
Right back then.
Wow.
And so we just said we would pray into it. We would put it on the shelf for now because clearly it was a long-range plan. And 25 years later, I saw the job for Focus on the Family and I just knew.
So it was you who saw the position open and passed it on to Brett.
I did. Yes. I said it's about to begin.
Wow.
But everything led to there. So teaching, working with every age of child, working with parents. We ran young marrieds life groups. Brett was nursing, so, a lot to do with mental health and how to care for people emotionally as well as physically. He was in the children's ministry, so, bringing little ones to the Lord and developing their spiritual depth with the parents, in conjunction with the parents, and of course with the parents. And so we've spent a lot of time developing those skills that at the time we this is just where God's placed us. But when we saw this job, I was like, he's been preparing us all along.
Wow. Isn't that incredible about God putting those stepping stones along our way, and we're just trying to stay on that stone as we're jumping from stone to stone, and it's not until later on we go, oh, that was leading us to here. I love this story. The lovely Kate Ryan, KR as we like to call her here. It's DJ and KR, the initials are out this morning. Kate, you were telling us about your the stepping stones that God took you and Brett to this position that you're in now in Focus on the Family. And you mentioned teaching. I know you've been a mum has been one of your number one, life highlights, not just career highlights type of thing. How do those two things play together, teaching and being a mum?
Actually, they are very helpful to each other. I think having children really gave me extra love for the children that I was teaching.
Wow.
And because once you've got your own children, I mean, I'm not saying people who don't have children don't feel this, but once you've got your own children, you recognise that the ones that you're teaching are actually somebody else's precious children.
Yes, I get it.
And
I got it.
So when you're relating to them, you come from a different perspective.
Right. Okay. So, so practically, all that time in teaching with your own children, what were the things that God was putting in that, that time in your career that has helped you in what you're doing now?
Oh, wow. Yes, a lot. I was in the PE department.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I was in the PE department, and that's where I got my nickname, KR. It was an all-male department at the time when I was there, and it was absolutely fantastic. I loved every minute of it. The banter that went on was extraordinary.
Yes.
But one of my favourite things is that because of the relaxed nature of a PE department, kids would come and talk to you in their downtime. I had the wonderful opportunity of kids who are struggling or kids who just needed someone to connect with. They'd just come to my office and we'd sit and chat and just hear what was going on in their world. And so I very much saw my teaching as a ministry. It definitely wasn't just about, academics.
Yes. Yeah.
It was about helping them navigate the tricky years of their teen years, when they're trying to really discover who they are and the influences that are coming against them. Yeah. And so I just felt it was such a privilege to get to do that.
And again, especially in those teenage years, the PE teacher, like you say, is usually a safe place because, you sit a teenager down, you put them face to face with you and say, okay, we're going to talk about something deep and meaningful. And they just retreat, into themselves or they want to run away. Yeah. But you go, you know what, we're going to kick this ball or we're going to put this stuff away into the shed. And while you're doing something with them, that's where the stories, hey, how's this going? And they actually start to talk to you while they're doing something else.
Yeah, that's right. And look, and often not even that. they'd just come and crash on a chair. And sometimes, if a child was really struggling, a staff member would release them to either go to the counsellor or come to my office.
Wow.
So it was it was a safe haven.
Yeah.
And, they were precious years of really being able to invest and just be a listening ear, because often kids will forget what you've said, but they do remember how you made them feel.
Do you miss those days at all? Do you think, I'd love to go back to the PE and talk to some teenagers again, or are you happy for the smelly lockers to be behind you?
Well, I did struggle with it for years, actually, because it was such a calling on my life. But God really challenged me that for me to move into the next thing that he had for us, I had to close that door.
Wow.
And so I did that. But now I've got the privilege of mentoring some of the girls that I taught who are in their late 20s.
Wow.
And so once again, I'm still connected. And that is a privilege. It's just, God just has, like you say, he's put those stepping stones, and I've really just stepped out in faith. And gone, there has to be a stepping stone in front of me. I'm just going to put my foot out and see where that takes me.
I love it. Hey, listen, we could talk about these stories all day.
Rise and shine on Vision.
I've actually got, it's funny, we mentioned it, we've got a mystery caller on the line here. We've got a mystery caller. It's coming up as Kendrick. Kendrick in Melbourne. Good morning, Kendrick.
Good morning to you.
Okay, the voice sounds a little bit recognisable. We're talking laundry with Kate Ryan this morning. How can we help you?
I do. A lot of people actually recognise my voice. They think it actually sounds a bit like Brett Ryan.
I wasn't going to say anything, Kendrick, but you definitely have shades of Brett Ryan in your voice there.
A lot of people get me mixed up, but I was going to get into my inner Matt Prater here, and for a laundry joke.
Yeah. What
happened to the leopard that fell into the washing machine? It came out spotless.
I think this Kate. This has to be Brett Ryan. Is he known as going as Kendrick around the place or anything, ringing up radio shows?
No.
Okay, all right. No, he's just heckling. Now, obviously, this is Brett. Brett, have you got anything to add to the laundry gang except for a bad dad joke?
Well, no. I think, the big thing is happening. Even today, we're actually getting a new dryer delivered because our dryer of 15 years just died.
Okay, well, listen, surely this is a sign from the Lord on high that we need to be talking about all things laundry today. If Brett and Kate are getting a new dryer there, Brett, who did the selecting of the machine?
No, Kate did all that. Okay. I just went in and tried to do the good deal, but I tried to do my Scroogey ways, and I tried to repair it. So I went on YouTube to try and work out if I could do it, and it was a nightmare. And then I read another article that says if it's more than 10 years, it's not worth it. So I decided to go with what the YouTube and what the internet said, because the internet is always accurate.
Yes.
We decided that it's about time to bite the bullet and buy a new one.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I'm glad you're funding it there. And let's do this. Let's open up the phone lines. Finally, thank you, Kendrick, aka Brett Ryan, there on the line. Finally, we're going to open up the lines for Laundry Gang. I know people want to talk about the pegs. I know people want to talk about the washing machines, and you've heard it here. We've got to talk about the dryers because Kate's got a new one coming in. The phones are open. Oh, it's going to be good from Taya. And you know it's going to be good this morning because we finally brought it back. The demand has been so high. The text message has been coming in. When is Laundry Gang back on Rise and Shine? And I had to do it when I've got Kate on the line with us because, Kate, you are an honorary member of the Laundry Gang. You take your laundry seriously.
I do take my laundry seriously, and I was on the very first program. I rang in on your very first program for the laundry before the Laundry Gang even started.
Exactly.
So I'm very excited to be here on the Laundry Gang resurgence.
We had to bring it up as well because your dryer of 15 years, as we heard from Brett, has given up. Oh, sorry, you heard from Kendrick, has given up the ghost. And you've gone for a brand new dryer. Is arriving today at the Ryan household. Tell us, what have you gone for, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I don't mind you asking. We've gone for a Bosch heat pump one because everybody raves about them.
Ooh la la.
And, I know, ooh la la, so excited. And it's self-cleaning. Now, that was the most important because he stood there talking about how to clean this thing. And I'm like, oh, no. Yeah. No, now what one's got the self-cleaning thing? So we're very excited. But, as you know, it leads to other things.
Yes.
So we had to pull out our other dryer, which had a flue thing.
Yes.
That went through our floor. So we've taken that out. But now, of course, there's this huge hole in our floor down to under our house. I said to Brett, quick, get something over the top of that because some creepy spider or whatever is going to come up through that. So then he went searching for the thing that was going to go over there.
Well, it's interesting. People are listening. I know we got Vision family all over Australia, and anybody down south in the southern parts of Australia are going to go, oh, yes, we need a good dryer. We hear from you. Anybody up north where it's drier and hotter are going, dryer? Why would I need a dryer for?
What a waste of money.
Exactly. But I tell you, having lived in Victoria for a few years, you do need a dryer during the winter, during the wet months, because nothing's going to dry. It's either that. When I first moved to Victoria, I would walk into people's houses during, winter, and it was like walking into a sauna. I'm like, holy heat waves, Batman, what is going on here? There's a cloud coming out of dampness towards me, and it's because there were huge clothes racks bigger than I've ever seen before, covered with wet laundry in front of or on top of any heater in the house to try to dry all the kids' clothes. I had never, being a Queensland boy, I'd never seen anything like that. And I was like, my goodness. So you've obviously experienced the clothes horses as well?
Oh, the clothes horses are a good friend. I had a really big one that I had all the kids' sports clothes on, plus the dryer going.
Yes.
So, when the kids were younger, we didn't have a lot of money. And so the dryer was kind of the last resort.
Yeah.
So the big clothes horses sitting everywhere. And, every time you went down the hallway, you'd run into it and things would fall off it.
Yes.
But you'd have to put a towel over the top to try and capture the hot air.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
so
that
it would
trick.
dry quicker.
Yes, the old capture the heat trick. I tell you, growing up in Queensland, a clothes horse maybe came up to my knees, and there was like rickety little thing in the corner. No one ever used it. Moving to Victoria, I was like, oh my goodness, there's clothes horses here as big as the room that I'm in. I've never seen anything as big as these. It was insane. All right, listen, we've opened up the lines here. Laundry Gang is back. If you've got some laundry advice, laundry tips, if you've got some pegs that I've sent you, anything like that, Kate and I are all ears. We'd love to hear from you this morning on Rise and Shine as we bring back the Laundry Gang. Somebody praise God for that. Jordan Feliz, and I know a lot of people are praising God around Australia because the Laundry Gang is back. If I'm the, I don't know what I am, the Captain General something of the Laundry Gang, what rank are we going to put you in as Kate? What can we put you in as the Laundry Gang?
I feel like a Lieutenant Colonel's where I'm at.
Okay, I like it. Lieutenant Colonel.
Very specific.
Yeah, I like it. Lieutenant Colonel Kate is here. Well, listen, on the line, all the way from Portland, Victoria, we've got the lovely Belinda. Belinda, you got a hack for us this morning.
Okay, so this is where we're going. Top loaders are better than the front because when you take the sheets out, you grab the corners and you just fold along until your sheet is folded. Whack it in half. Give it another fold and put it straight into the basket. So then when you go to the clothesline, you can just peg it up like that, ready, set to go.
Oh, now, that's revolutionary.
Belinda, I was thinking of you when I was washing sheets while I was away. Now, the only problem with that for me in laundry, and I'll be very transparent here, I've got a dodgy shoulder now. And me trying to get the two out at one. Look, I want it, once this shoulder comes good, I do want to try this properly.
Look, I know you're going to be successful at it because you get very good at it.
Yes.
The fitted sheet's a little difficult, but you still just get it. And as you said, you're not going to be dropping those dooners on the ground anymore.
Yep.
If you fold them out of the washing machine.
And I'm just going to say this. I really do. I have watched some of those videos about how to fold the fitted sheets. And one of the women's names was Sue. And I'm telling you, we stood there going, oh, come on, Sue. This is not kosher. Yeah. It was so hard that we had to keep stopping it, rewinding and going, okay, it's just getting folded up in a bunch and going in the cupboard.
Yeah. The other folding ones that I see every now and then, because you know what the algorithms are like on all these social medias, once you've looked at one, it's going to show you 1,000 of them. I made the fatal error of looking at a Japanese folding, because these Japanese people can fold clothes like I've never seen before. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Could I do even one of the folds that they were doing? Not at all. Absolutely impossible. I don't know what magic they were doing on these clothes, but I absolutely... All right, Belinda, all right, the challenge is before us. Next time we're washing the sheets and the fitted sheets and everything like that off the bed, we fold them out of the washing machine into the basket and then fold it back over the clothesline. I like it. We're going to do it.
Yeah. Hey, have a good day, you two.
We will. Thank you. What we'll say General Belinda. We'll put her up there as a general there in Portland, Victoria. Kate, okay, we've heard the folding hack there. Let's see what else we've got from the Laundry Gang around Australia. We're going to have a listen to Micah Tyler. We've got the news coming up, but you know what? We're going to keep the Laundry Gang lines open. We would love to hear from you. You've got DJ, you've got Kate Ryan here. The Laundry Gang line is open. Keith and Kristen Getty, Scarlet Thread. You might be washing your Scarlet Threads this morning and putting them on the line. That's why we're doing the Laundry Gang. Oh, that was a horrible segue. It's DJ and Kate here for you. DJ, I don't know what rank I am with the Laundry Gang. I'm just the cheerleader out here. Kate, you gave yourself a ranking. What was it in the Laundry Gang?
Lieutenant Colonel.
Oh, sounds very impressive to me. On the line, all the way from Doughboy, it's our good friend Alison. Alison, what ranking are we giving you?
The major.
Okay. Major Alison and Doughboy from the Laundry Gang. I like it. What have you got for us this morning?
Well, this is a subject very close to my heart. Now, I put my feeding on hold this morning to come back up here and to partake in this. Anyway,
so the animals are waiting while we talk Laundry Gang. I'm glad you got your priorities straight here, Alison.
That's right. They're all on hold. I've done one lot, but the rest have to wait this morning because this is so important. But anyway, so I consider that my pegs that I normally use actually have to rank number one in Australia. Mm-hmm. And the ones that you sent me, I think they were very good. There were a couple there that actually fell apart when I was washing, like putting them on the line. Yep. But on the whole, they weren't too bad. I have used them more than once because when I ran out of pegs, my own pegs, I had to use them because the wash was so extensive. Yeah.
Now to bring people up to speed, I brought in and I had two. One of those, the big plastic containers that you use in the garage to store things with. Yep. I had two of those full of pegs that I've bought over the years that weren't up to scratch.
There's a whole lot that aren't up to snuff, that's for sure.
So I ziplocked them all up and I put a call out there the last time I think we did Laundry Gang. I said, who wants a bag of pegs? I think we sent 15 bags of pegs all over Australia of different kinds. So, Alison, in the end, a lot of duds in that bag. Were there any that was a standout?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, good. No, because I know the ending of this story. Alison, this is why you're a major in the Laundry Gang. You have turned me on to the greatest pegs I've ever used.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I do agree with that. Now, I just say this, that when I was laid up, and I'm still slightly laid up, but I'm feeling great, actually.
Praise God.
When I was laid up, hubby did do the hanging out of the washing, but unfortunately he did it the bush way, which is just throwing them over the line.
And then they all blow off in the wind.
Yes, and they do. And there was no semblance of order in the hanging.
This is why he hasn't even made it into the Laundry Gang. I'm sorry, we're not even going to put him as a corporal or anything. He's out of here.
No, he hasn't made it. He did a major effort, I must admit, but he hasn't made it into the Laundry Gang, no.
So are your famous pegs, are they stainless steel?
No.
Oh.
And this is where it gets even more controversial. Alison has sent me pegs that are made in New Zealand. And
of what? what?
And
what are they made of?
They are made from a company. There's a New Zealand company. You know what? We might even do this next time. I've got a couple of bags upstairs. Kate, I'm going to send you a bag. Bag. We might even do a peg giveaway here. We should be sponsored by them. I'm not going to mention the company's names because we're not sponsored by them at all. This is a company that makes farming equipment, including electric fences, right? The plastic, the orange, last forever plastic that they make the holders of, the electric fence bits and pieces out of.
Yeah.
They have gone and made pegs out of these bright orange pegs that are not too big, not too small, just right.
Oh.
And I tell you, Alison, you've changed my laundry life.
That's wonderful, DJ.
Well, you'd be able to find them anyway with the colour.
Yeah, you drop them, you see them straight away. They're not going anywhere.
Yes, and you can't colour coordinate with your clothes.
Oh, no, you can't because everything is just orange. Anybody who loves... I know we've got some people who are very, I'd almost say, let's, in all due respect, a little bit OCD, and they love to coordinate the colour of their clothes with the colour of their pegs. That's not happening when you've got all orange pegs. So that sort of takes that pressure away. But you know what? Okay, Kate, I've got a bag of these pegs coming to you. We might next time have to give away. I might have to buy a few more. You can find them at rural farming supply places. Go in there and ask for the orange pegs. You'll find the brand that we're looking for, and they're right there. But we might give away some next time. Listen, we still want your laundry tips and tricks. It is the Laundry Gang this morning, having some fun with Kate Ryan and DJ here, part of Rise and Shine. On the line this morning, we've got Steve from Chinchilla. Steve, first question. If we're in the Laundry Gang and we're giving everybody a ranking, like a general or a major or a lieutenant, what are we going to put you down as?
Oh, the top of the list.
What's that?
The top of, whatever the top of the list is.
hey, you've got to be able to know. I don't know what that is. All right. Okay, Mr. Top of the List, Steve from Chinchilla.
Well, actually, I call myself Martha. It's Martha's Laundry, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Steve, on that.
See, I used to call it Mary's Laundry, but then Mary was the worshipper and Martha was the worker, so I changed it to Martha's Laundry.
Okay, I like it. We're getting spiritual on here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Steve from Martha's Laundry this morning. What have you got for us?
I heard you talking about the lady that folded the sheets, put them on the line. I've got a front loader up on a plinth or whatever you call it, with the drawer, so it makes it a bit higher.
Yes.
So I put the basket on the floor,
yes,
and I sort the sheet as it comes out of the washing machine, and I throw one over one shoulder and one over the other shoulder, put the loose stuff in the basket, go out to the clothesline and just throw them over the clothesline.
You are like a laundry ninja over here, Steve. This is like next level.
I was going to say the same thing.
I've been called worse things than that.
Now, in Chinchilla, are this sounds great. In Chinchilla, Martha's Laundry there with you running it. Are you considered some sort of expert around town? I mean, people need to be seeing you with some amazing laundry tips here, man.
Well, Steve from Chinchilla shifted to Bundaberg, and I'm doing it in Bundaberg now. So,
okay. So it's Bundaberg. It's Bundaberg.
I used to have an old guy used to bring his washing around, and he used to pay me $10 a week to do his washing. Oh. And I thought that was the easiest money I ever made.
Yeah, money for doing something you love. That's great.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you're saying I like this move. As the sheets are coming out, you're putting them over your shoulders, so you've got a bit of folded action there over your shoulders, and that makes it easier going back onto the line.
Yeah, well, I pull it out long ways, and I sort the top from the bottom and put it over my shoulder.
Yep.
Then when I walk to the clothesline, just go flip up and over the line and peg it there.
So you must be tall, because I'm starting to think that wouldn't work for me. With my king-size bed sheets, they're going to drag along the ground over my shoulder.
No, we only use queen size. Yeah. Oh, well, you can double it, but okay. The thing is to hang it over your shoulder, and it's nearly at clothesline height, and it's because you know what happens when you put the sheet in the basket and the clothes, the undies are in the fitted sheet.
Yes.
Yeah. What surprises am I finding in the corners of the fitted sheets? Exactly. It's exactly. Okay. All right. Steve, not from Chinchilla anymore, but from Bundaberg there. No need for a dryer up that way, I'm sure. So we won't even get into that conversation. But loving the laundry tips, Steve. Thank you so much.
That's all right. It's my pleasure. Oh, Chainsaw Charlie.
Yeah, Chainsaw Charlie. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, buddy. All right, Steve, bless you, mate.
See ya. Bye.
We're wrapping up our Laundry Gang talk this morning, and I know everybody around Australia has been waiting for it, Laundry Gang, to come back. Thank you to all the lovely text messages and direct messages and all this type of stuff coming back. We've got let's see if I've got this right, Lieutenant Colonel Kate Ryan with us from the Laundry Gang. Kate, I love the ranking here. I still don't know what I am. I don't know where I sit in this. But we've got the lovely Jenny on the line. Jenny, what ranking are we going to give you?
Oh, I think I'm probably just a troop.
A trooper. A trooper. I like it.
Yeah, a trooper. Yeah, I'll do it.
Boots on the ground. Jenny there, doing the hard work. Now, what have you got for us as far as the laundry this morning?
I've got a large clothes horse, which has been, we've had it all of our married life, which is 40 years now, and they've been repaired. It's been repaired several times. At the moment, it's stuck up with sticky tape.
The good old, is it stuck up with gaffer? The gaffer tape fixes everything.
Yeah. Well, I think all we had was, like the tape that you used to put, over parcels, the clear stuff.
Oh, yes. It all works. If it's holding it together, it works.
Yeah. And then, but I inherited, my mum and dad were given a clothes horse on their engagement, which would be, I was trying to think how long. Mum died earlier in the year. She was 96 and she was 24 when they got married, but I think they were engaged for a while. So we're talking well over 70 years.
Wow.
And anyway, it's still beautifully made.
Yeah.
But when they moved to their house, one of their houses, it didn't fit in the cupboard, and Dad, both of them were very much neatniks. And anyway, Dad decided that he'd cut the legs off.
Oh, no.
Anyway, my sister didn't have anywhere for it. It was in her possession, and we're both quite sentimental. So I took it on, and we use it when we're desperate and we need an extra one. But
how Jenny, how big are we talking here?
Oh, it sort of comes up to my hips. It should be, like one of those big wooden ones.
Yes.
It should be, like a lot taller. And instead of that, I'm just going out to it. I keep it out in the shed.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's, let's see, it's about up to my hips. It is up to my hips, and I'm short.
Okay.
Actually not quite even up to my hips, and I'm really short. So it should be up to, chest height, really.
But he's chopped the legs right off it.
He chopped off the legs, but he did a nice job. He rounded off the ends of the sticks and everything. But it's a beautiful thing. But my husband calls it the Hobbit. So he's like, if we're desperate, if we've got too much stuff, because we hardly use the dryer, we've had that for all our married life too.
Wow.
And it's still going fine, but we don't, we use it to finish things off.
Yes.
Mostly.
I'm just saying they don't make things the way they used to, because 70 years.
No,
I had a clothes horse, I think, for 5, and the whole thing fell apart. All the screws fell out, and maybe it's just me.
No, they do not make it how they used to there. Hey, Jenny, thank you so much. Our boots on the ground trooper for the Laundry Gang.
Thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You are more than welcome. Okay, there we go. Look, there is so many more calls coming in here, but we're running out of time, Kate. So I think I'm going to have to get you back here for the Laundry Gang because, as we know, Fel, not a ranking member of the Laundry Gang.
She just wants to get it done.
Yeah, that's it. She'd be very impressed with your new dryer. But listen, if you've got any more messages about it, I know we have a lot of fun here, we're talking about the laundry, but it is something that we all do together. And I tell you what, for me, going out in the laundry, and I've said this before, Kate, I think it's the same for you. It's a time where I get to be by myself with the Lord. It's a great thinking moment. And I just love that process of doing something and cleaning something, those small routines where I get to be with him. I think that's why I love laundry so much.
Isn't that that's absolutely interesting, because that is my thing especially when the kids were younger, being at the clothesline was my time with God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so because it was just quiet, because when you said, does anybody want to come and help? They were like, do you actually mean help?
Yeah.
Or do you mean just come and sit there? So
Yeah.
it ended up being the space.
Yeah. I think that's for a lot of us. That's why we love laundry so much. It's that quiet time in the middle of a busy routine. At least that's what it's like for me. But thank you to everyone who's been in touch. We're gonna keep on giving you some rankings with the Laundry Gang.
I've heard of all-day breakfast on the menu, but here's a Brekky show available 24/7. Thanks for streaming the Rise and Shine Daily Podcast.
It's that time of the morning as we are the visual I like to put out here. Kate and I are standing on the stage there. Everyone's applauding. The red curtain is about to come down. And for our curtain call, we bring you a very special song to play out the show with. And Kate, I'm very happy to turn it over to you and get to know you a little bit more about the song you want to play at the end of the show.
Oh, look, this is one of Brett and we have really similar taste in music. It's called Shepherd by Local Sound. And I know. They're amazing.
This is not a song that we play on the radio, but this little group from Nashville called Local Sound, I'll put it out there, not a great name for a band because Local Sound, it's hard to Google search for, but I tell you, these guys are absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, and their string player, the violin, is unbelievable. It makes me feel like I'm in heaven. You know, you kind of drift away.
Yeah.
And when you watch them, they just sway as if they are lost in what they're playing and the way they're praising God through their instruments.
I know there's two versions of their song Shepherd. You're obviously talking about the one they recorded in an EP called The Hotel Sessions, where they set themselves up in a hotel room, nice little hotel room, and they record their songs again live. And this is their version with the strings on this song, Shepherd. This is gorgeous. And I'm going to say I love it so much because it's taking so much of scripture into the lyrics of the song.
Oh, absolutely. To me, it's a bit of a combo of Psalm 23 and Psalm 91.
Oh, beautiful.
And just his protection and him shepherding us and all of it was just beautiful.
Okay. Kate, I'm gonna put it out there. Not that I'm going to turn this into a competition, but I tell you, you've pulled out the best curtain call, I think, of the last few months, and this is you've ranked it highly. You've suckered me because I love this band so much, Local Sound. Let's have a listen to their live version called The Hotel Sessions of Shepherd. Turn this up. We'll be on the other side of this to say goodbye here on your curtain call.
I'm coming to your Asgard, the place where I belong. Hide me in your shadow. There's nothing more I want. Your grace is all around me, and I will be at peace, because I know the shepherd, and he is good to me.
Oh, wiping the tears from our eyes here, and as we sway back and forth, that is a gorgeous song. What a great pick. Kate, tell us again, the band is called?
Local Sound.
Yeah, and the song is called Shepherd. It's from their little EP that came out a few years ago called Hotel Sessions. A little bit of trivia for everybody. I picked a Local Sound song a few months ago for one of our Spin It or Pin It's. Sadly, did not make it over the line, but I love that group, Local Sound. Not only do they do some really fun, upbeat pop songs, they do some amazing live sessions, but they do some beautiful worshipful moments like that. Kate, great pick. What a great curtain call this morning. I know we're going to be getting messages and calls, people saying, what was that song again? We need to hear it again. Again, it's Local Sound. The song is called Shepherd. You can find it on YouTube, on any of your streaming platforms right there. Kate, massive thank you on behalf of myself and all the Vision family for stepping up to the plate this morning and filling in for Fel while she's away. I know you've got a very exciting day because you've got a dryer being delivered to you there. But what else have you got coming up? And then I know you've got some travelling coming up.
We do actually. Not this weekend, but the following. We're heading to Mount Gambier and doing some marriage conferences there.
Awesome.
Which is very exciting. And then in October, we're actually heading up to the mines and sharing about what is family.
Wow, like for all the whereabouts is that?
It's in Claremont.
Okay, so the people of Claremont, get ready. Kate and Brett are coming to you. Talking marriage. Well, listen, if you want to get in contact with Kate and obviously her wonderful husband, Brett, a.k.a. Kendrick, if you were listening early this morning, you can get a hold of them at families.org.au. And a big congratulations. We'll wrap this up at the end of the show. Big congratulations to our very own Pinky, truck driver Pinky there, and the Brains, who, if you weren't hearing it, they've walked away with a great prize for the marriage retreat coming up in October in Ringwood, Victoria.
We're so excited about that. And for people who did not win, there are still places, and we would love you to come. It is such an inspirational time. I am blown away by what the Holy Spirit does in all the marriages, including our own.
I've got, behind the scenes here, I've got the pressure from my wife to get along to this, and I'm like, Pinky already won the tickets. I don't know if we can. So we'll see what we can come up with there. But Kate, again, bless you so much for helping us out today. You're such a blessing to all of us across the Vision landscape. Thank you for tuning in on this Tuesday. Make sure you listen in bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful Tuesday, whatever you've got planned. God bless.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.